All right, this video here, we're going to be talking about the fundamentals of landing pages, what they're required for, how they should work and operate, what you need on there, the do's, the don'ts, I'll show you some good ones, I'll show you some bad ones. It's going to be all about landing pages and why they're really, really important. Like this could be the difference between some of your ads failing completely or actually winning. Get started with you now is explaining what a landing page is. So I'm actually going to show you here my landing page. That's where we're going to start, and then we'll move on to other landing pages and good examples and some bad examples. So if we have a look here, when you land on Launch Hub, which you've probably already done, and this is why you're here now and watching this, is you would have seen our Launch Hub workshop. So you will notice here that this is not a website. You know, a website looks completely different to this. This is like got the little logo. There's no menu. There's nowhere else to go. Literally, you land here and this is the only page you're going to be able to view. And what you could see here is I've got a very strong, compelling headline. Now, what's so important to understand about this strong headline is why it's so important is when somebody lands on a landing page, they're not just shopping around and just seeing like, you know, who are these guys? Let's go learn a little bit about them. That's what a website does. But a landing page is something that specifically somebody saw and was looking for, and they want to go and learn more specifically about that product. So for example, if this was for a plumber and somebody had searched for a block drain plumber, we wouldn't show them their entire plumber's website. We'd take them to a block drain landing page. You get what I mean? So we're solving the direct problem that they actually searched for. We're not creating a lot of friction and noise for them where they're going and having to read through all this other stuff that's completely irrelevant to what they were actually looking for. So that's why landing pages are just a game changer. And when they land on here, the first thing we want to make sure they see is a headline that really solves the problem that we believe they would have probably been looking for when they clicked. So Launch Hub, people want to generate money. This is what we're about. We're a course to help you scale your business and generate money. So our opening line at the time of recording this, and we always change these headlines and test new ones and different things, right? And you can see we do little things like we highlight big areas that we want people to really focus and read. So ready to generate 20K to 100K in the next 14 to 30 days. That's pretty compelling, you know. If I'm a business owner and I see that one open, I want to read a little bit more. How many goals did you set for 2025? How many actually happened? Don't let 2026 be another year with broken promises. Let's fix that in 2 days. Watch below how we are going to help you 10x your business in 2026. Then I run this video. Now, why do I run a video here? This is actually called a VSL. What a VSL is a video sales letter. So in this VSL, I've got to try and position and sell it to the person without them having to even contact one of my team, reach out to me. I explain everything I need to in this video that you can see below. So that's why it's called a video sales letter, right? It's weird why it's got letter in there, but that's what the terminology is, VSL. I add the VSL in there, somebody comes in, clicks it, hits play, and watches the entire video. Then there's a little bit of a scroll, and the first thing is you have book a call. Boom, form pops up straight away. So it's like frictionless. I got to keep it as frictionless as possible. So easy for you to be able to reach out to me without having a lot of trouble trying to find how to contact us. Because obviously when you land here, you see there's no phone number, no nothing. You scroll a little bit, boom, book a call now. Okay, let's do it. You know what I mean? Then events sell out fast. We show some, remember we mentioned in the previous video, in an irresistible offer, you always want to add some scarcity and some urgency. And by showing this is creating urgency because people see it and be like, okay, wow, the events sell out real quick. I better jump onto the next event as soon as I can. So what we need to do here is we need to make sure that people can really see this is not one event out of nowhere. They run multiple events and they sell out real quick. So that's the next part of that. Then we come down to your business transformation partner. We have a little bit of a call out, and then we have a form again. So even though I had a click button here, I don't just require people to click on that. I show them again, hey, it's nice and easy. Click this form. Then we have a running image across that slider, and it showcases some real authentication here. Authenticates what we're doing is real. Here's our team. Here's our students. So much. It's just really showcasing that this is something that's tangible, it's real, you can attend, this is what the events look like, and so on. You see us all in action and so on. Then we come down to this part that I would call it ugly, right? but it sells. And that's what we're here for. We're here to sell. We're not here to look fancy. We're not here to try to create a fake life and like, look, you can drive Lamborghinis and all this cool stuff. We're not here focused on that. We're here to talk to you and give you, and this is called ad copy. And it's written in a way very specific, and you'll learn how to write ad copy like this in a different video that I've done, which is called ad copy and learning the fundamentals and how to. And ad copy, this is the part that sells everything. So fire your marketing agency ASAP. Agencies are bleeding you dry with monthly retainers while some junior managers your ads. You know, see, I've done line breaks here. So it's like not overwhelming to read, You're just reading subconsciously. Our mind doesn't want to see a compacted text, and it's complicated, and we're going to read all this information. I hate when I see websites do that, because 90% of people just bounce and they don't read any of it. So what you've actually got to do is make sure that you use as many line breaks as you can, right? And I know your English teacher at school probably taught you against writing like this, but this is how it actually is meant to be. This is the mastering of ad copy. So there's a guy named Gary Halbert. He's like the world's best copywriter. I studied him, done his courses, did his books. This guy was from the 1920s and now, or 1940s or something, and he was like, used to write in the newspapers $1 million articles. Like, he would make millions of dollars from articles he would write in the newspaper. That's how advertising was done back then. And he mastered the art of copy and copywriting, and he built courses from it. And his son, Bond Halbert, now manages that, and they have the Halbert community, and it is just amazing. And I really honed in on to learn from them. And if you want to take it to another level, I would highly recommend you going and just getting the Gary Halbert book and signing up to the Gary Halbert newsletter and just learning and seeing the way they write copy. They're the world's best copywriters, and this is exactly their methodology. So the basics, what you need to know is how to write, but it's also knowing what to put into your tone. Again, that'll be done in your ad copy. Then I have another book now randomly in there so that it's frictionless. But if you're at this point here, you know, we want you excited and booking straight away. And then we have a little bit more text over here. Then we come into some social proof. So we start showing some of our students' results, you know, 4 hours, what happened with this guy, you know, all of these. Look how many people's results we're showing. So how much more real does it need to get? People are winning by coming to Launch Hub, right? Then we have another book of Call and Hell. Then we have even more testimonials, but now they're videos. They're not just images. So now I've got, you know, Woody's success, and then all these guys from our actual events getting interviewed by me directly. Then we have this little section that's like run your own success, and it shows you the difference if you're doing it versus your agency, how it works, so you're not confused of what happens next and how it all works. Some frequently asked questions. You know, there's a video for frequently asked questions, and there's all the actual tabs themselves, so you could click it and actually read, right? So I've done everything I can to keep it frictionless. I gave you a video version of it, and then I made it a tab click. Then we get another form. Have you noticed I keep putting CTAs everywhere? CTAs is called, the acronym for CTA is call to action. So call to action means now, what's the next action step I want you to call to? It is to fill out my form and get signed up into our system. Then I have from here, is this for your business? And then we grow businesses. We teach your business growth. We aren't vague gurus guessing. We are on things we've never tried. And then we show that we work with every brand, so not every brand, every industry, because we're not limited, you know? I'm sort of answering everyone's question when they land here. Does it work for my business? Well, they could come here and see we work with every business, right? Then we just have another little slider, a hands-on business education program, another CTA. Then we come down here, what you'll get. And then this explains everything that they get, or you get, obviously. Then another CTA. How exciting do these CTAs get? They're like, you cannot get lost on this page. And then we have our beautiful team showcased down here. And when you get to this section, meet your growth partners. We're the same team behind Black Bull. Here's my team. Not all of them. There is other members, but this is the main team. So that's why we've got them listed. I need to update my photo because everyone else looks so good compared to me. Me and Leo, the odd ones out here. And then we have this little sneaky thing at the bottom that I did. You probably missed, and you're probably like, now what the hell? So what we did here was we did this thing where, let me see if I can make it all on the page. We did this thing where we said, congratulations, you reached the end of the page. Use the code LASTED when you register for our event and receive $250 off your efforts of going through our entire page. We reward thorough business owners. I did this like a sneaker little thing because, you know, we got data, which I'm going to show you the data in a moment, and it showed that very small percentage of people actually scroll to the end of the page, even people who do inquire and purchase off us. So We like thorough people that actually went and learned everything about us before they even took the next step. So we're rewarding you. This is a little bit outdated. It's actually been changed now and reduced a little bit, so don't hold me to it. I think if I give a quick refresh here, it's probably, you'll see it updated already. Yes, it's already been updated. I just hadn't updated my page. So you can see, congratulations, you've reached, and it's now $100. We've reduced it a little bit because we just thought we're giving away too much already for such a good price. So it's $250, it's $100. I'm randomly going to make it $1,000 one day. You never know. But it doesn't matter. This is not something that anybody should be holding anything against, because at the end of the day, you're here to grow your business, and $100 or $250 shouldn't make any difference to anyone's business. Like I said, it was just a little bit of a thing I did, and that's something cool you can add to your landing page. So this is what an amazing landing page is, right? Now, I just want to show you a different version of this, something that's really important to understand: mobile versus desktop. Why is that important? Let me explain to you something. 90% of my traffic is actually through mobile. So this looks all nice and fancy, but for that small 10% of people that come through desktop, mobile is what matters, because 90% travel. So I've got to optimize my landing page to be mobile strong more than desktop strong. So I'll show you a little tool I have here, which can show you exactly what it looks like on mobile. And I'm sure you can see this now. And this is it. There you go. So we're looking at an iPhone, and this is, if you opened up my landing page on your mobile, this is exactly what it would look like. And if you see, while I'm scrolling through here, you can see everything looks very similar, but it's optimized for mobile. I've changed things. I've removed, remember we had yellow text in here that said about 2025 and 2026. It's now gone. You know, I scroll through, there's the form, there's the scroll. I removed another section from here. There's the fire agency. Do you see that the text here is written different? On the desktop, it was center text. Now it's left-sided text, because when you're on your phone, you always read from the left to the right. It's just a standard procedure. And we've learned that people, when they read center text on mobile, actually people won't read it as easy as if it was left-sided. You want to remove that much friction. Even if it makes 1% difference for your audience, make that change. So then I go through this. There's all the results still. Everything is still where it is. I keep going. Here's the videos, and as you can see, it's so easy for them to just click, and they scroll and they scroll and they scroll. There's that you and your agency stuff. There's this more text. See, it's a little bit more overwhelming here, but it is the how does it work? And it couldn't look as fancy as the left, right, 1, 2, 3 scenario. It's how does it work over here? It's just sort of broken down a little bit more differently, right? So that's how that flows. There's the frequently asked questions in the video. A few other sections, as you notice, were removed. Is this for your business? That's there. The hands-on section, what you'll get, and then meet your growth partners. And this is us and the team again. And then that reward that we discussed earlier. So you can see what a strong landing page this is. And I can tell you it's a very strong landing page because we convert really well from it, right? You want to be converting anywhere from, 5% to whatever, the higher the number, the better, but minimum 5% conversion rate on a landing page is what you really want to be focusing on. Anything below that is really costing you a little bit of money. So this is where you do this thing we call CRO, conversion rate optimization. So let me give you a quick explanation of something. CRO stands for conversion rate optimization. This is a game changer for business, and I'll explain to you why. Now, let's just pretend that you're spending $100 a day on ads, $150 a day on ads, about $4,500 a month, and you're generating in that month approximately 50 leads, right? So, sorry, I'm going to have to do some maths because I'm not that great with maths. Let's go, 4,500 divided by 50 leads. That's $90 a lead that you're paying, right? Now, we go and look at the traffic coming to the website, and it's only coming in, we're only converting, so we're getting hypothetically a 5% conversion rate. So let's call it a 2% conversion rate. So we're getting 1,000 people coming to the page, and only 2% of them are actually converting. Now, for that same 4,500, out of the 90 leads I got at $90, I could potentially go do some conversion rate optimization. That means fix my landing page to get more people when they land. So 1,000 people landed, but only 50 actually inquired, right? 2% actually filled out the form. So 2% of 1,000 is 20 people that converted, right? So let's just pretend we're spending all this money. We get 20 people convert from 1,000 visitors to the page. What agencies would tell you and what a lot of people tell you is, oh, we need more ad spend, we need more creatives, we need more this and that, right? Because they don't want to go spending time and money on your landing page and actually doing CRO. What they should actually be doing is actually going to the landing page and figuring out, hold on a second, if we're only converting at 2% on the landing page, that's a massive problem. What we need to be converting is at least 5 to 10% is what we want. That's the healthy spot, right? It's a pretty average place. Different industries, again, I've seen industries that are converting at 20, 30, 40, 50%. So don't stress about that. What I'm saying now, the numbers I'm using are just average for some certain industries. So let's call it at 2%. We've got 20 people out of 1,000 that converted at a $4,500 ad spend for the month, right? What we want to do is not go and put another $4,500 a month so that we get 40, right, conversions, or we don't want to go and put another like $500 even to get any whatever it is, the conversions. The reality is we want to try and fix that landing page now. We want to get out of those 1,000 people another 20 to convert and lift it to 4% at least, right? Conversion rate, 5% at minimum. They're the first little steps we want to make. We don't want to go from like 2% to 20%. It's impossible to get that right that quick. But what we want to do is go, we're at 2%, we've got 20 people coming in. How do I fix little bits and pieces to get it up to X amount? And I'm going to show you a little tool of how you'll be doing that. If I can spend $4,500 still, my same ad spend, just fix my landing page alone and get it up to a 4-5% conversion rate, that puts me immediately at least 40 to 50 people coming in. Look at the difference I just made. I spent no extra money on advertising, but I gained another 20 to 30 customers just by making small tweaks. Then I run for another 30 days. I learn the data of what happens over the next 30 days, how much better things get. I see the little changes I made. Then I go again and I do CRO again. So I'm 2, 3, 4 months in. I'm still spending the same money on advertising, but I'm doing CRO. Conversion rate optimization. So when I do that, what that's going to do is it's going to make my ad cost and acquisition cost much cheaper. This is the thing that kills me when I see business owners come and be like, I've ran Google ads, or my Google ads are running and they're not doing great, or X, Y, Z, whatever the case might be. They're always like blaming something. But then you go look at their landing page and it's disgusting. It's like you would never get conversions on that. And I'm going to show you some bad examples of landing pages and the things that you should never do and why you should never do them. This is the kind of stuff that you want to make sure you're honed in on and focused on. Marketing is not about just going to Facebook and Google and running an ad. Marketing is a massive ecosystem. And yes, it could be overwhelming and like, I don't know where to start. In reality, don't stress, don't get overwhelmed. I'm here to hold your hand and guide you. All right, look at this landing page. So look at mine, right? You land on here, it solves the problem, tells you what you're looking for, talks to you straight away, nice and clear, and then look at these guys. I land on here and they've tried to do this like compelling headline for me. Jim's Mowing and Gardening Services in Preston, Heidelberg. And then I've got all this text looking for reliable same-day gardening services in Preston. Jim's Mowing and Gardening Services has got you covered. That didn't tell me anything other than you barking up your own tree that you're like the best of the best. Now, I'm not shitting on Jim's in any way. Everybody knows what Jim's does. But like, this is a horrible landing page. And I land and the first thing he's trying to do is tell me about him and about 20 other pages he's giving me access to, services. He's trying to tell me all the services they do, locations, franchise. Why are you trying to sell me a franchise when I was looking for a mowing? Like, you know, why are you trying to do this part? Then there's videos, articles, contact. Then there's, I don't even know what that button is. I'm not even going to click it. And then there's a contact button, right? This is ridiculous. This is going to like, it's too much noise. I land on here. Let's have a look at the mobile version. I land here. There's this massive thing, Jim's Mowing and Gardening Services in Heidelberg. Look at all this overwhelming text. Look, 90% of his customers would be mobile as well. Everybody searches stuff on mobile. All of this stuff, book a free quote. Preston, we're not just mowing. Now he's trying to sell me other services straight away. And then he's got this bloody slider, which I have to click through to see all this like services he runs, which isn't that bad, but I think it's way too early that they're offering this, you know. Why choose gyms? It's all about them. It's nothing about what you get yet. So if you go back to our landing page, it's all about what you get, what we're doing for you, how we do it for you. You know what I mean? All that stuff. It's all about you. And then franchise profiles. Like why? I don't care about the franchises yet. And that's it. I can't even scroll anymore. There we go. I got stuck. So let's go back up for a sec. Areas we cover, you know, all of this like little map of Preston. Okay, so I'm in Reservoir. Oh, they don't do Reservoir, you know? They just do Preston because that's all they've shown here. So, you know, like silly. hey, this is not something I would ever allow to run if I was the marketing agency for these guys. Book a free quote today, news cuttings. Like, come on, seriously? You reckon I'm coming to look for a lawn mowing guy and I'm going to read some news articles? You know what I mean? Throw this in your blog on your website. Where's your gym? And then you've got all this, like franchises for sale again, get a free gyms quote, win $1,000. This is probably a better headline. This should have been at the top, and then I get to the end of it and there's all these site links and look how long the footer is. So sorry, Jim. Love what you've done for Australia and for the industry, but yeah, this is just a horrible site. Then we've got this banner running at the top: be a gym today, inquire about a franchise. I come here and I feel like I'm just getting told to buy a franchise more than actually getting my service solved. So let's have a look at another one. We've got OFG Gardening and Lawn Care. I land on this guy's landing page and the first thing I see is grass in the background, and then it's a full website here. It's not even a proper landing page, and it's meant to be a landing page. I got this off their ad. Then I get to About Us. Welcome to OFG Gardening and Lawn Care. We are based in Meadow Heights, Victoria. Transform your outdoor space into lush, well-maintained retreats with our professional gardening service. I literally came here just to get my grass cut, and you're telling me I got to transform my outdoor space into a lush. Like, come on, look at the terminology. Speak to your customer. Speak to your avatar. The person looking for this ain't calling a local cheap lawn mowing guy to cut his grass and turn his backyard into a lush. You're trying to cut grass? Focus on cutting grass and why it's good. Talk to the customer about their pain points, what things they might be thinking about. I immediately think about, I will come and cut your grass. Like, this is off the top of my head right now. I did not even pre-plan this for this video, but I would have ad copy in there that's sort of like, we will come and cut your grass, maintain it, take away all the rubbish, blow away any debris, pack up everything and take it with us so that your bins aren't filled. And we will schedule you in for a monthly recut of your grass or fortnight, whatever you choose to opt in for, on a subscription basis that you never have to worry about your lawns ever again. Inquire now and have a look at the prices that we can offer you and packages. That sounds so much more compelling. I'm going to get a subscription. It's frictionless. I don't need to worry about nothing. There's all this stuff I could add, but they're here worried about barking about lush outdoor areas because they cut grass, not shitting on these guys, but unfortunately, I'm shitting on their landing page and their ad copy and the marketing that they've done. Now, this guy's a lawn mowing guy, so he doesn't know what he's talking about here, but I could tell you right now, these guys here, whoever built this page for them, they've just whipped up some things just to show you, hey, look, we built you a site. Here's a landing page. Are you looking for a professional gardener based in Meadow Heights? Well, clearly, because I'm on your page. I'm here today, so clearly I'm looking for one. I didn't just stumble across your landing page, Our services: lawn care and maintenance, seasonal cleanups, tree and shrub care. All right, I don't mind explaining this, but this is going to be more compelling. This is just not doing it for me. Are you looking for a professional gardener? Again, we're repeating ourselves. Now we go to a gallery. Oh, wow, look, somebody's grass has been cut. You know what I mean? What I would have preferred was a before and after where I could do a slider, where I could grab a slider, slide it left and right, and actually have a before and after, where the before was so bad I'd be like, wow, look how bad this guy's grass was. It actually gives me an emotional reaction and feeling to it. But he's just giving me some images of cut grass. Like, what am I getting out of this? Then I land on the footer and look at all this. They're doing some SEO, obviously. This is why they're loading up all of this. And look, oops, something went wrong. They're not even paying their Google Calendar account. So yeah, look, I'm sorry to shit on these guys. Then there's this next thing. What am I looking at here, Bit of concrete bollards, like a retaining wall style or fence with some grass on the top of it. Then I'm back to the same image, another image. This is not what a landing page is, and I can tell you this guy wouldn't even be converting at 1%. Let's go back to Mr. Jim. Over here, Mr. Jim, we have let me pull myself up a little bit here. Mr. Jim's Car Detail. I land on here, Jim's Car Detailing logo at the top, a full website, all the services they offer. Again, he's trying to sell me a franchise. Come on. Then I get to our services. Mini detail. Look how this shocked me actually. Look at this. Our services, package 1 of 6. He's pumping me with 6 different packages. Look at the lineup. Look how where this one is, this one extends down here. Make them all just the same length. If this one is that long, just stretch this longer and leave a little bit of white space. Put a bit of paragraph breaks. Make this one a little bit further down. Even things out. Make things easy on the eye when I'm landing on here. I can't even wait to see the mobile version of this. It's going to be horrible. And then I come through all the way, and then the free quote for paint protection is all the way at the bottom. Something that's free should be one of the first things showcased. Show me a really good deal right at the start, and then I'll read through if I'm interested, right? Overwhelming the shit out of me having to read all this. You guys have overwhelmed me so much with this landing page. I just want to bounce and go find somebody that's a little bit easier to talk to. Why gyms? Again, it's all about them. That photo, okay, it's a bit of social proof. That's all good. Join our team. He's trying to sell me a franchise once again. Then I get over here, meet Jim. There he is. Look, don't really need to meet Jim when I'm looking for a car ceramic. Everybody knows who bloody Jim is anyway. Work guarantee. This is him selling me a franchise. Shows Larcher's franchise. Police check them, fully insured detailers. This work guarantee thing's about their franchise to prove our confidence in the service we provide. We offer all our clients a work guarantee. If for any reason you are not satisfied with our service, you can contact the franchise directly at head office and rectify the issue as soon as we can. Well, that's actually a bad line. Work guarantee. That's should be 100% money back guarantee or something like that. I thought work guarantee tells me the guy's getting guaranteed work. See how bad and how much this just disconnects from what I'm trying to achieve here. Now, if we go to the mobile version, it's the same thing. So there's their packages, right? They've got this little annoying thing floating and annoying me. Instead of putting that there, that should have been just plastered under here telling me there are 4.8 star from over 11,000 reviews, not having his logo that I clearly know who I landed on, right? When I click see packages, all it did is take me to the one of 6 packages. That's all it did. And then there, that's that. Okay, that's enough of Mr. Jim's there. Let's have a look at some good landing pages right now. So I know this one seems a little bit overwhelming, but this is what a good landing page is. So service today, I know things I would change on this is I would remove the menu completely because I actually Googled for a emergency plumber near me. So emergency plumber Melbourne, it popped up really good. There's a little bit of too much noise. That image is too strong. I would have probably cut it and just put it a little bit here in a nicer colored background. Instead, it's too overwhelming with the image behind the text. Too much text up here. Too much going on with the book online and available 24/7. I would just have that 24/7 logo. You don't have to repeat it. People know what that is. I would have a click button for the phone number or a book online button that is just a little bit more simple. Need a reliable plumber. This text is overwhelming to read. I've got a plumber. Service today or it's free. I would have that literally plastered right up here. Your service today or it's free, and that suits their brand really well. Like telling me to pay online. I haven't even booked you yet and you're asking me to pay. That's not good at all. A little bit overwhelming. This here, fix it now, pay later, no interest. That's great. I would actually put that right under this section. So I'm scroll from the main headline to that directly. I would have loved to see that instead. And then emergency plumbers that Melbourne locals trust. He's done a bit of a VSL. Let's quickly press play. See, that took me, this is what's going on here. It takes me to a YouTube. Carl Plumber service today. It's talking to me. All right, I would have started the video with that, showing they're a massive team, showing how, just putting a headline here. We train our guys. It says it at the bottom. I just missed it, but it's dragging on. I'm over it. I'm looking for a plumber here, not to learn about your business. They've got these dot points down here. You could potentially use these points down here instead up there, or instead of this one. I would run a split test to test it. $50 off your next service. It's a good landing page. This would get really good conversions, but I'm doing some CRO with you right now. What's the conversion rate optimization? I need you to remember that. So this is good, but there's so many changes. I can increase the conversion rate on this landing page drastically with so many things I would do, but it shits on the gyms ones that I was showing you and that other lawn mowing company. What else we got here? Oh, look who else I had opened for you. Gyms. Look what he's doing. I land on Jim's skip bins. He's telling me to request a quote or become a franchise. Again, too heavily focused on selling me franchise. And again, a loaded menu. Look how confusing that is. Okay. Skip in Higher Melbourne. Skip in Higher Melbourne. That's not a headline. That is not a headline. That does not tell me what I'm here for. That doesn't give me a compelling offer. The irresistible offer is missing. Everything that makes me want to contact these guys is not there. The only reason I would probably book these guys is I know that they're probably the cheapest ones out there because it's gyms and we know that his brand is structured around the cheapest. Industries we service, construction and building, landscape or gardeners. Well, I would assume you would service them, skip in. I doubt you're just sending it to a primary school for kids to play with it. So, we know that what skip in said, we don't have to worry about this. You just wasted somebody everybody's time. Then we go waste types for your skip bin. Okay, general, this is good. We have bins for general waste. We have green waste bins. We have general waste, construction based, concrete and heavy materials, e-waste, and tire recycling. I would focus on the ones that people are like, do you do this? I know you're going to do general and I know you're going to do construction. It's good to know that you do soil. It's good to know you do green, Concrete and heavy materials, we know most bins do that. Tire recycling, that's a great one. I wouldn't have thought you did that. So that's good to put that on here. And that should have been something, again, in a nice, strong headline, just dot pointed, the main ones. Our skip bin services, residential, commercial, flexible, they're repeating who they service. This is solving the same problem there that this same problem up and bottom doing the same thing. How to hire a skip bin in Melbourne. Really? Now I'm going to be taught how to hire one? I just want to call you and give me a bloody skip bin. What size skip bins do I need? Okay, great. So they're trying to give you some explanation here of what I need. I don't mind this section at all. I think this is good. Why choose gym skip bins? Because you're the cheapest. That's why. No one's bin is better than the other. I just want a fast, reliable service that's going to get it to me ASAP at a good price. Don't tell me why I should choose gyms, though. Local Melbourne skip experts. What makes you an expert at getting me a bin? It's silly. No one reads it. No one cares why you're an expert at skip bin hire, Fast delivery and flexible hire periods. That's great. Put that somewhere else though, not in why choose gyms. And wide variety of skip bin sizes. That's covering again, because you said that earlier. Our customers are saying you don't need to take this from us. Instead, check out the reviews, and then it's completely broken. These guys, breaks my heart. Big businesses like this and these little things fall. Then at the bottom, he's telling me he's gotten 12 million jobs. That's obviously not in skip bins. That's the whole franchise of Jim's brand. 5,700 franchisees. Outdated numbers again, and more than 50 divisions to choose from. He's selling me a franchise again. Like, we're coming here for a skip in, we end up coming out with a whole new business. Now we come and land on Block Drain Melbourne. This is a good one. Drain Blast, plumbing, giving me a menu. I think I am actually on their website. I'm not on a landing page, but this actually does a pretty decent job because they only focus, it looks like, on one main service, which is block drains. Emergency service 24/7. See how they've done the 24/7 and didn't repeat themselves. Added a mobile number, which I like for a plumber. A mobile number is way better than a 1300 number. Service Today has a 1300 number here, makes them feel more expensive. A mobile number feels a bit more personal. I feel like I'm going to reach the plumber that's actually going to come to my home, right? Then I've got fast delivery, fully licensed and insured, real reviews by real people, no problem. They should have listed what star rating they are here. Fully licensed and insured, I would have like something that's better. Fully licensed and insured, I expect you to be that. So just tell me, what do I get though? What do I get? I'm your customer. I don't care you're fully licensed and insured. I expect that from you as a minimum as a plumber. What do I get? I should be getting 100% money back guarantee. I should be getting same day service. I should be getting, remember that we spoke about the 6 levers to pull in your irresistible offer needs to be outlined throughout the landing page, and especially this space. Now, why do I focus on the headline and the top of the page the most? I'm going to show you soon why that area is so important. Then I've got to get a free quote. They've made it pretty frictionless, name, phone, email, suburb, and then submit. That's pretty good. Block drains, a little bit hard to read text. They should have broke this up a little bit more, but it's okay. And then our services, they've dumped out some services here, which is all focused on block drains, which is really good. And then why choose Drain Blast? Again, RACV 5-star emergency certificate, 10 years plus experience, state-of-the-art equipment. Like, really? Really? Is that what you got? I thought you were going to come with a pick and just pick at my pipes. 200 plus 5-star reviews. That's really good. Should use some emoji stars here so it immediately catches my eyes and I see that. Fully licensed and professional plumbing service. I expect that from you. Expert block drain specialist. I expect that from you. Powerful, fast jet unblocking equipment. Okay, probably could be worded a little bit better. Fast 24 hours response. I like. Reliable and best for value. Silly. Don't try to lie to me with that. Family owned and operated. Don't really care. Same day service, great. I love it. 100% customer satisfaction. Well, who claims that? The customers, let me see their reviews. And that's exactly what I wanted to see here. They're actually Google reviews. He said he's got 200 plus, so he could get a Google connector and show all the 5-star reviews here just scrolling through. And then that's my social proof. Property maintenance, commercial or residential drain blast. So again, it is a website, so they are showcasing what they do. That's fine. Make the logos look a bit cleaner. You look tacky. Block drain plumbing service, Melbourne City, Victoria. They're repeating themselves a little bit, and there's a complete, yep, it is the same logo, so that's fine. And look where the Google reviews are. The most important thing that I care about when I'm going to choose you, you've pumped all the way to the bottom of your landing page. some of our customers are our fellow general plumbers. So why are we putting our customers, our fellow general plumbers? All right, done. Why are we talking about that? Why are we showcasing other plumbing brands here? That's very bad practice. And then we got this, top 5 plumbers in Melbourne. That's their certificate. I don't know, that looks dodgy and fake as hell to me, but it probably is real. I'm not going to really waste my time reading it. Brands we use, couldn't care less what brands you use. And then there's all your SEO exposed instead of being putting into one link, which is called locations, and then everything pumped through that link. But there's, again, SEO agencies and their methodologies of growing your business. Here's another one, a little bit too overwhelming. I'm not going to overly go through this one like I did with the other one. This is unfortunately a landing page. They're completely overwhelming it with the headlines, with their menus. They've put too much information at the top. My plumbing service, really? Plumber Melbourne, my plumbing service? What kind of headline is that? Fast emergency service, 100% customer satisfaction, high quality work. Do you see the repetitiveness that we see across all of these brands? 100% customer satisfaction. Like, why would I read that and be like, oh, wow. Seriously, I love this. $50 off any plumbing job, online offer, 10% off seniors, 50% off tap repairs. I don't mind this. This is good. It's an offer that I can, I claim this now, but, should I emphasize the name? What's this bloody video playing in the background disturbing the shit out of me? For fast assistance, call or request, okay? Crystal callback. Our services. Holy shit, that's overwhelming. What the hell is this? Thought it was toy cars just for a second. I don't get what that image is. I'm a consumer. I'm not a plumber. Why are you showing me that? Explain it. Hot water service, I get that. Gas installations and repairs. It tells me nothing about gas. A guy bending down under a cupboard. I could tell that's a tap. Roof repairs. Okay, get a better photo than that. Leak detection. Looks like a guy taking a dump with that facial expression. And then pipe relining, and it looks to me like he's welding. Looks like, do you do steel? Oh, okay, that's pipes, pipe relining. There's way better images than you could get on that. Get an AI generated image that shows a cartoon drawing of a pipe reline. Don't give me a guy welding pipes. I don't know how that's relevant to relining, but anyway. Plumbing services in Melbourne. I'm not going to waste my time going through the rest of this. Here's the offer popping up again out of nowhere. And then, great. That's how we use the phone. Thank you. There's a few reviews buried all the way at the bottom. All the way at the bottom, that's the one killer. Okay, so we've gone through all this. Now, remember I said the headline for me and the top of the page up to I was saying the top area, and the more you put in the top, the better you become. Why? Because people don't scroll far. We said that. How do I know people don't scroll far? How do I do CRO, conversion rate optimization? How do I learn what people are doing? Well, I'm going to show you quickly how that's done. Come over to this thing called Hotjar, which you'll install, right? And you'll learn how to do this later. Hotjar gets installed on your website. And what we do with Hotjar is it's a code that just gets put in the back, and it records screen of everybody's actions that land on the page. Absolutely everybody. Desktop version, mobile version, the whole lot. And if you have a look at the numbers down here, I'm just looking at the last 30 days, and I can see I've had 605 mobile sessions and 114 desktop sessions. Remember when I said 90% is on mobile? And then 2, this is tablets, which we don't really care about. Hardly anyone does that. So what I'm doing is, one of the things I'm checking for right now is I'm checking for scroll depth, right? So I'm looking at current scroll, and I can see 100% of people have come to this section, and look at the color, how it starts to change. So 94, look at the numbers change as I go. Look how many people start to drop off. Look at this, 80, 79. By the time I'm here, I've had 62% only scroll this far. I've nearly had a 40% drop off already. I'm at a 50% drop off at the copy. 50% right here. So people read bang, and 50% of them leave right here. So out of 605, only 300 made it this far. How crazy is that? 300 people didn't get to see my testimonials either. And look how far they were down. Not far. It's only 45% more, but that's okay because they're the serious people. All right. I would love to see people putting testimonials up here. Now, I've got a split test variation that's actually running, and I'll explain split test in a moment to you. I've got a split test variation running where my testimonials are up here. Actually, that one doesn't do as well as this one. This one converts way better at 8%, and the other one was at 6 point something percent. So we come down here, we see all of this, and just to cover again, my VSL actually shows the testimonials. So they've probably already seen the testimonials in the video because a lot of people watch it, but I would love for them to have gone as far as seeing it. Look at this, 42% drop off, 39, only 30. Where are we at down here? We're at, by the videos, we're at like only 30% of people have come this far. I have lost 70% of my traffic by this section. Now let's see down here where we're at. 27% only got this far. How it works, 25%. FAQs, I'm only got 20% getting to the FAQs. 20%, I've lost 80% of my traffic by around what businesses we work with. Then I get to what you get. Then I get to who your partners are, right? Look at this. Only, how many people get down here? Only 14.5% people made it this far. And to tell you, they probably scrolled real quick and just came back up because we've only had about 5 people ever pull this bottom of funnel, bottom of landing page, congratulations, and use that code on us. So not even enough are concentrating when they get down there, but only 14%. So I lost literally 85% of my audience was dropped off by there. So there's other things you can do. You can go and click, I can unclick this and click engagement. And now I could see where people are tapping. How cool is that? Look at this a lot. This is where the most engagement is because obviously they're filling out a form, which makes sense, right? But look at this. And this isn't just captured by touching. This is also engaged by people sitting on this section of the page a lot. So we could see people sit here a lot, look at very high engagement here because they're clicking this button, obviously. And then I have really good engagement on the first one. And that's people trying to zoom in, you can tell, or click the image so it expands and they could read it better. Then I get a bit of engagement. Then I get very heavy engagement here. Now that's a little bit off. It would be really that button. It's not always 100% accurate. Then I get a lot of engagement on this first video, very high engagement on the first testimonial. High engagement. Look at that. All the testimonials get amazing engagement because people are clicking to watch and staying there for a while. Then I get some engagement here. Look how much it dies out. Dies completely. But then the FAQs, people want to know all about the questions. They have so many questions and we answer them. So look how good that is. Look how dead it was, all of the here. No one cares about that section. Then we come here and the engagement is super high again. Then super high engagement again, right? Then we come and it's dead. Very few people clicked on this image to get it to expand and see who's involved. Then they get what you'll get. People like that section. And we get to the bottom and look at that, fair few people clicking here. And that's the people clicking this, obviously, right? So we get really good engagement here and it's really high engagement for the people that actually made it that far. So how cool is that? So let's get back to the top and see what other tools we got. There's rage clicks. So this rage clicks is really good because it's telling you if the button is broken. So if I chose rage clicks and it said this button has a lot of rage clicks, that means people are having a click it multiple times for it to actually work. And that means I need to fix it, right? And then you've got all taps as well. So we've got this, and this is just showing you just generally they're tapping anywhere. So it doesn't matter. This could be just holding down to scroll, and you can see there's a lot of heat maps in the background, right? So if we come back up here, top 3 taps, so we could do overlays, remove that one, remove engagement, right? And we can go top 3 taps, and obviously top 3 taps are here, 1 and 3, because people are typing. So let's ignore top 3 taps for a sec. Let's turn on all taps again and see how I got like a heat map now. You can see sort of, it's like a heat map. I had left engagement on before. See how it's showing you where the engagement really sits with all taps. See these little, I can't put the mouse there, but see these little things popping up here? They're because people are holding to scroll on the mobile version, right? So if we scroll, see this, look how heavy it is on the FAQ, So what does that tell me? Right now, I immediately know that my split test should be running moving these more higher up in the page because people are really engaging with this, right there. And then we come down and there's a fair few people clicking down here. So that's what CRO is. Look how much we learn, what people are doing, their actions and everything, right? There's another cool thing here I want to see if I can show you now is I can go to this page called recordings. And in recordings over here, I can actually watch people. So this is me, obviously 34 minutes right now on there, 16 minutes. Let's go to 20 minutes. This is our team probably just making changes on the page. But look at this. Somebody spent 2 minutes on here on May 28th. Let's go down to, May 27th, 28th as well, minute 46. Look at this. I can hit play. This is really fun. And I can actually hit play and I can watch what somebody did. Look at that. It's actually playing a video of somebody's actions. So look at them scrolling. This is them. This is whoever it was on his mobile. I don't know who it is. I could tell from here that it was a new user, Australia, 2 hours ago on a phone. Facebook is where they came from and he was using an Android and it was Facebook that referred them because obviously we're running ads on Facebook. How cool is that? And if I look here, I could see he clicked twice or she clicked twice. no text input, so they didn't fill out the form, rage clicks, none, like there's all this information, no errors occurred, which is great. If I look at actions, I could see all the steps that they took, UTMs and all this. This is data for marketing purposes you don't need to really worry about now. And it's really cool. And if I click over here, see this skip all inactivity. So when I click it, if there was anywhere that they weren't scrolling anymore, so see over here, there's inactivity. So it's like they just stopped somewhere and they weren't doing nothing for a while. When I'm watching, this could immediately just skip that. So I'll quickly show you, just skips that spot quickly. See how I just skipped it? So yeah, that's just explaining to you how you can see that as well. But this product is super important. Now, do you know what's really, really amazing about this? I don't expect you ever to come on and be some perfect marketer because you just watched a little video from me explaining how landing page works. And I don't expect you to be some professional CRO expert. It takes years for people to master CRO and knowing which little intricate things to change and why to change them. But I'm going to teach you a little trick that you'll learn more in the proper video with Hotjar. But you connect Hotjar to your OpenClaw and you get actually, or Claude, right? Or ChatGPT, I'm pretty sure does it, but I know Claude does, and OpenClaw. You could actually connect your Hotjar to it, give it access, and you could tell it to give you a very detailed report, and it'll spit you a PDF using all the data it collected from Hotjar and spit you out the most detailed CRO requirements needed. Now, 60 to 70% of the information it gives is really good. We even use it ourselves to collect some information. We'll do our own changes, but then we will go and ask recommendation from the AI what it believes. But it really has the model we use is like, we use Opus 4.7 obviously, and we tell it to really work like a CRO expert and so on. And we're experts ourselves, so we know what we're looking at. So we know when it tells us to do something, if we agree with it or not. So just logically think what it's telling you. Does that actually make sense? Sometimes it tells you to do things that are really silly. It tells you to remove things that you know are winning really well. But 60, 70% of it, the things it tells you to change are amazing. I've made some changes on its recommendations that I didn't even pick up on. And wow, we increased 1 or 2% conversion rate. And 1 or 2% conversion rate is massive because that could literally mean another 10 clients for the same ad spend. So every percent in landing pages matters. So give that a go when you connect Hotjar. Hotjar is a must when you build a landing page. Now, just coming back here to just give you a quick overview how to build a landing page now. You're probably thinking, oh my God, I don't know how to build a landing page. What do I do to build one? How do I learn that? Are these guys going to teach me step by step? Well, the answer is yes. We are going to teach you how to build it hard-coded, and we're going to teach you how to build it through AI. I advise to build it through AI to start with, just to get started. And then slowly in the background, you could build your hard-coded one yourself. When I say hard-coded, you're not doing no code work. It's just a drag and drop system, but it's a little bit harder than the AI. The AI can just fully build it for you from a prompt, from scratch, and you can deploy. And I'm going to show you in a few minutes the tools to use for that. You will see how easy it is to build a landing page in a few minutes. This is the next step to take when you're going to actually go and deploy everything. So I'll show you quickly how it works. Landing page is a must. If you're running Google ads, you must have a landing page. You must. It's no question. Facebook ads, you can use instant forms or landing pages. In the video after this, I actually explained the difference between landing pages and instant forms and when to use them for Facebook and TikTok. But for Google, you always use a landing page, religiously. Like, do not ever opt in for Google Forms. So if we come over here, there's this app called Lovable, right? So we have a look at this app. It's super cool. I love this thing. What AI is doing is absolutely changing the game. I used to charge an average of, $4,000 to $6,000 to build a landing page for someone. Now we charge them less than $1,000, less than $2,000 to $1,000, depending on what they need. But they're bigger businesses that don't even have the time to write a prompt to an AI, where you have the time to do that. So, because you got time to watch this video, you build your own landing page. So you come over to Lovable. Don't go doing this right now. Please continue watching over here and learn from this. There's a how to build. There's a way to do it. You don't just come here and say, build me a landing page. We've built you a massive prompt. This will build you the landing page, and you're going to save thousands of dollars by building this yourself. So what happens is here, I just come and I would put my prompt in here that I've already curated and built for you that you will just copy and paste, and it will start asking you questions about your business, what you do, your reviews, blah, 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 the structure, what your brand is, what your service is, and all this stuff. Remember, we don't build websites, we build landing pages, specific service only. We don't go and saying, I do plumbing underground and I do plumbing block drain and I do plumbing hot waters, and we come and say, this is a landing page only for block drain service. Then we go build another landing page for hot water service. Get what I'm saying, right? It's a per service product, a landing page we always build. So then what happens is I would put that prompt and then this would go and move to the left-hand side here and start building your page on the right. Now, I'm not going to go building one now because we don't have time for that, but I'm going to show you one that we did as a demo already. So you could see if I scroll to the top here, we came and we dumped a form, the prompt that I'm giving you, and it said, got it, your PDF is detailed prompt, blah, blah, blah. And it started asking me questions. What's your business name? In one sentence, what does your business do? You don't need to, you just dump the file like I've given you in the others, and you would dump it and it would start asking you. And as it was asking, it kept building and asking, and it asked me more questions and then more and more and more. By the time it was done, I reckon this took about 7 minutes to build out the landing, to ask me the questions. 7 minutes between me and answering them, and I think it took another 5 minutes for it to build this landing page. So if we have a look over here on the right, this is the landing page. How cool is this? So I could actually, I think, click preview here. There we go. And we could see a live version of this landing page if it was on the web. Look at that. And you could, I'll show you something in a sec, but like you could change all the images, the text, you could change the color. You know, this would be thousands and thousands of dollars for me to build it for someone if I was building this from a coded version. But this AI spat it out. Look how good this is. It added everything I need. Now, I might find things too dark. It's not my right logo, all of this. Let me show you something. You would click visual editor. So now the visual editor has loaded. I could click on this image and I could literally say, I'm not going to do it now because it takes a few minutes to do things and I don't want to waste any more time. But I could say, change this image to this, and I could add an image in here and it would literally upload it. Or it would say, I could say, create me a better image. I don't like it. Looks too AI and fake there. Create me a better looking image. And here's a photo of me. Make it a version of me. It will go and generate an image, an AI image of you, and add you in there. I could have had myself in here if I wanted. And see how I could click on any element I want. I could click on the background, change the back. I natural language talk to it about what I want to change. I could say this section over here, I don't like it too much because it's like there's a border, but you can hardly see it. So put a white line around it. Natural language. I could click the logo and say, here's my logo. Please attach this logo. And then you would just see that logo change to your logo. That's how cool this is. And then that's it. You got a landing page. I'm actually going to showcase one of our students, Nick from Paintflow. I'm going to show you his landing page, which he built with Lovable. This is fully operating and he's running Google ads with this. This is a kid that built his own page. Look how cool this is. Need a painter who actually shows up, 1,000+ jobs, 0 callbacks. Look at how beautiful he built his landing page. Look at his beautiful form. Look at this drag and drop before and after I told you about, right? Look how cool that is. That's just a prompt he told it to do. He loaded his images. There's his reviews. There's his services. This guy's a painter, young kid, built this himself, deployed it, running ads, doing amazing. This guy, he did $230,000. $230,000 in sales within 2 months of joining our community. So that's landing pages. I hope you have learned and understood the importance of a landing page, what it will do for your business, and how important it is to do it right and not be dodgy and not do cheap ass stuff. Take your time. Like, I know AI, I just explained, does it real quick, but take your time with AI. Don't just go spit something out and be like, it's good enough, I'm going to run with it. Care about it. It's your business. CRO, conversion rate optimization. Remember that. One of the most important things when it comes to landing pages. But conversion rate optimization doesn't only attain to landing pages. It attains to so many other things. You know, ads, fixing the creative of your ads. That's CRO, website, sales process, you know, conversion rate optimization with your sales team. So CRO is an across the board thing, not just for landing pages. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next lesson.